Buenas tardes, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Better Monday Fasting. In today's video, I'll be sharing my experience with different diets I experimented since I started fasting. So, before we get started, nothing I share is medical advice, so please do your own research before making decisions about your health. And so let's get started. So when I first started fasting, I started with the raw diet. So I did both. I started both at the same time, and I quit alcohol. So if I were to do it again today, I will do it. I will still do the three things, but maybe not at once, because it's when you do major changes at once that are stressors for the body. You put stress on the body. I mean, it might be too much at once, you know. So that I would do it differently. I will sequence them, and also to really understand, you know, the consequences of each change. Because when you do, you know, it's like A/B testing. You know, like if you do everything at once, you don't know what change is has what consequence, you know. But I think there were all three changes that were kind of heading towards the same direction. So it's just that it was. And then I took the second technique to start my fasting. So it's kind of, now when I look at it, I mean, I wouldn't, if I'm coaching somebody, I wouldn't recommend that. Like that's not the protocol I would recommend. But it happened to be, for me, it happened that way. There's some construction. It's going to be a little noisy. I'll try to walk faster from the construction area. So the first diet was raw, and I mean, I would say 95%, and because back then I still ate like potatoes and things like that, or you know, I'll eat a lot of quinoa. So there are certain things you have to cook, you know. But even meat, I'll eat raw, eggs. And so then I kept that raw, and I was juicing, and so I kept that raw diet for a good 8 to 9 months. Even when I first arrived to Argentina, I kept it. So it was, when I started fasting, it was in March, and in January. No, it was more like April, I think. Like I started fasting in April, May. I started 2016, and then January I went to Buenos Aires, and then little by little I changed my diet, and so that's the first diet I was on, and I think it was good. Like it's good to get yourself like get your body more alkaline, and you're getting more like the food is more nutritious, you know. You're not losing vitamins because you're cooking. So in that sense, it's good. But if you're, you know, your digestive system is not pretty strong, it might be a little difficult, you know, because when you're eating everything raw, and it's a lot of work for the intestines. And so if you have for example, like inflammation, things like that in the intestine area, it might be a little challenging. So in that case, maybe you can start with raw, but consume mostly juices, like green juices. So that could be an option. So that one well. So I don't know why uh, I quit. I missed, I missed the the cooked food, and then like Argentina is in the south hemisphere, so if I remember it correctly, then after April, May, it starts getting cold, over there. So that's a little bit the problem with raw food. Is like sometimes we need that comfort, especially in the winter time. The food is comforting with like eating warm food, so like raw. In that sense, it can have its limits, but if it's working for you, yeah, I think it's a pretty good diet. You don't get you don't lose any nutrients, and you don't get all the harm, maybe because you're burning stuff, or so that was the first one. So the second one was the diet where I don't consume any animal products. Like I don't like it's labeled with another word, but I don't like to use that word because I think that movement has an agenda that I don't want to be a part of it. But the diet itself, not consuming animal products for a while, it makes sense. For me personally, it works well for 2 to 3 months, and especially if I come from a diet that is like last time I was in my country, Turkey. I went all like I was like I ate everything because I missed some of the food. So when I went back to Mexico in 2022, I had for 2-3 months I was on a non-animal product diet, and it was actually really good for 2-3 months. Like I was feeling better, and it was like so it's a tool that can be used. Then for me, I think it has its limits, and the whole like political aspect. I agree with and I agree that we should treat animals better. Like the animal condition is something we should treat animals with respect. I agree with that, but then there's a guy on YouTube, I think he's a hunter, and he tells like how many living beings you have to kill to have a soya field, So like what bothers me with that movement is that they're sensitive to the cause with relationship to the cuteness of the animal. That's a little bit my criticism of that movement. And also like I have friends that are part of that movement, and every day they're sending me their messages about save the animals. But when kids are dying and in Palestine, nothing, but the cows, it's sad, so yeah, that's like it's a little bit so that's why I don't want to promote their movement. Like I don't believe in it, but yeah, to treat the animals right, all for it, and then treat a diet without animal products for a while. I think it's interesting for our purpose. That's for our purpose. It's I think it's an interesting tool because we're all about putting the body under certain stress, resting certain functionalities. That's with fasting. That's what we do. So then have a principle like that. Be like, okay, for a month I'm not going to consume any animal product. It could be good for certain functions of the body. So that's for the second diet. Oh, the other one is the frugivore diet. That one is fun, but I don't know if it's sustainable either. That one is, well, I can never go over a week with that. But I did it once in Mexico, no, several times in Mexico, and once in Peru, and it's a lot of fun in those countries because I mean you have access to amazing quality tropical fruits, you know. So it's fun, but it's in a way it's eating candy without the guilt, you know. But I don't know if it's great for the liver. Or you have to really choose what fruits you're eating. One fruit that I really like is coconut, and it's very complete. I mean, I did some coconut fasting. I mean, you only eat coconut meat and drink coconut water, and it's very complete, and it doesn't have that much sugar, you know. So, and it fills you like it's a good. You feel like you're eating something, because I mean, if you eat oranges, it's not gonna cut your hunger, you know. But coconut meat, yeah. I mean, it depends also there's this whole, you know, the meat can be soft, can be hard, depending on the maturity level, and it affects also the quantity of water it has. And yeah, I mean, coconuts are fascinating. I mean, it's one of my favorite fruits. So the frugivore diet, yeah, it's interesting. Like it gives a rest to your digestive system. It's also at the same time it's raw and it's fun. So if you're maybe in a tropical place, it's hot, you know. You don't want to deal with cooking. You know, you wanna. Maybe you have access to the ocean, to the beach, so that whole combination can be very interesting. You know, like I really believe in the power of the ocean and the beach. You know, it's I mean it's very like it's each time I'm in Mazatlan, Sinaloa, I look younger, I look better. It's like it's working. I mean, it's like. You know, it feels closer to my natural habitat than being in a city. You know, even though Mazatlan it's a big city, well, I wouldn't say big, but it's a city. It's a real city. It's not. But since it's along the coast, so on one side you have a huge ocean, and that makes a big difference. And where I live, when I go there. I live in the old town, not too far from. It's called Playa Sur, and not too far from Olas Altas and El Faro, the lighthouse, Mazatlan lighthouse, and so yeah, it's great, and I can have a pedestrian life. There, I can walk to the organic market, to the regular market, to the beach, Also, I run. I mean, one of the things I do is like I run from Playa Sur to the lighthouse, and then I run up from the bottom of the lighthouse to the top. And my record is 9 minutes, 12 seconds, something like that. And it's really challenging. I mean, even people like doing it. By foot walking, some people they have a hard time, and I do it running, and I made a lot of friends like that because people are so impressed. Like they see you do that, like so. I'll be doing that, and so I'll be passing all the people, you know, walking, and I have to. There's a kid, so I have to. Okay, I have to do this so the kid doesn't go on the image. And so everybody sees me like passing them, you know. So then when I'll be walking back, some people will recognize me, and I always it was a nice icebreaker, like where people would be uh, asking me, "Oh, you're an athlete? Do you run marathons?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just a musician. I want to stay in shape." But it's challenging, especially it gets hot in Mazatlan, and I wouldn't recommend if you're not in shape. It's something. But I'll do it like two, 3 times a week, on top of the gym. So it was part of my routine. So yeah, like when you have a lifestyle like that and you pass a lot of time on the beach, because you get nutrients. I mean, like the nutrients are not only through food, When you get clean air, it's nutrients, like a good social interaction. It's nutrients, the sun, the beach, the seawater you're swallowing while you're swimming and all that. So when you're in an environment like that, sometimes you come back home. If you spend the entire day outside doing physical stuff, then you don't feel like cooking a big meal. So then the whole frugivore thing can work, but the only point I'm worried about is it's the whole sugar thing. The sugar thing, I'm a little it's too much sugar. So, but one can do it smart. So maybe you do a good portion of your frugivore diet of coconut meat or fruits that are not that sweet, and then you top it off with some fruits. But you got to be careful. Like bananas are it's a lot of sugar. Mangoes are delicious, but it's a lot of sugar. A fruit that I discovered recently here it comes from Brazil, but I discovered it here in Paraguay, and it's not always available. But when I see it at the market, I buy. It's the cacao, the fruit. And so I did some research, and people are advising I should toast like this. I just eat it. It's so good. It's so good. Like the pulp is it's amazing, and then the actual cacao bean raw. It's a required taste, but for me it's delicious. That's the kind of stuff I love. So yeah, you just got to be careful because it has a lot of caffeine and something else that I don't remember the name, that is in the chocolate. But so it's kind of, but it has a lot of benefits, and so if you're eating it raw, it's probably has even more. So that's for the frugivore diet. I'm more like, it gives you a break, and if you do with all the lifestyle that goes with it, and you're in a tropical place, and I mean it's fun. Like I see it more like fun and kind of healthy than a tool. But I'll do it once in a while, and I think I started that like once I was like sick. I had something that I never experienced before. I was like, it happens in Latin America. It's different, Like first time I went to Mexico, I was like, I had the shits like for 2 weeks, I was in Yucatan. It's very different. Like Colombia too. The first time I went, but I had for 2 days, 3 days. I had the shits. But it's just the body has to. But it's unfortunate if you're on vacation and it's you only have 2 weeks, and so having the shits during your entire vacation, it's kind of, it will be unfortunate. So the fourth one, so that's the one I'm on right now. It's the ketogenic diet, and I started in March 2023, and I've been on since then. It's been more than fantastic. I mean, it's. I think I have a video about just about the combination. I'll put it in the description. I have a video on ketogenic diet combined with fasting. That was really, that was the missing puzzle for me. And in that video, I explain why. And so far, I only had so it's been a year and a half, and I only had 4 cheat meals. And yeah, I mean, the reason why I don't, I allow myself to eat anything. Like, I'm not like I cannot eat. But it's just that I don't wanna, because with the ketogenic diet is, I mean, everything works better for me. Like I keep that magic, probably because of I stay more on ketosis. So I keep that magic of fasting. I have better mental clarity. I sleep less and get the same repair, same rest with less hour of sleep. And yeah, it's just it works better. It's like going from regular gasoline to super, So it's just that and now I'm on a roll, I'm doing all this. I'm working for my business. I'm working for my band and all that. And it's just that I don't want to waste 3 days to come back to keto because I wanted to have a pizza, So if there's something like socially very interesting that comes up, maybe I might get a cheat meal. But the thing that happened with keto is that to be in control, I start cooking all my meals, I start cooking all my meals, and that's a lot of time investment. So, but I enjoy it. I mean, as much as I can afford to do it time-wise. Yeah, I love my schedule, like because I do, I have 3 work sessions, I have 2 music sessions throughout the day, and then 1, 2, 3 health sessions. So that, but the good thing is, it's just that I can do them, like I can go to the gym when sun is out. I can enjoy the day. Whereas when you have a 9-to-5 job, I think I work more than maybe somebody that's 9-to-5, but since I'm a single guy, solitary guy, so it's very easy to organize to get. I work in the morning. I work after the gym and the sauna. I go to co-working spaces. I do a working session in the afternoon. Then I cook. Then after digestion, the digestion, second music session, and then I work again, And because I love what I do, it doesn't feel like work. But it will be hard. I mean, if you have a wife, like if you have a spouse or something, like it will be, or the kids, like it's you have to organize differently. But the keto has been great. But yeah, I've already said it all on that video, so I'll put the link below. And the last one is, like, I cannot say that I've been on it at this point. It's but since I'm doing the keto, it's very close to keto, and it's the carnivore. And that one might even be keto on steroids. I mean, I have to. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but it might even be better than. It might even be better than keto. And I feel bad. That's the problem with ignorance, like, when I was a kid, I mean, my dad, I think he changed now, but he used to only eat meat. And he'll eat very little vegetables. He was very like a carnivore. And with my mom, we'll be like, oh, it's not healthy. And like, we'll be like, oh, you got the meat. And he wouldn't eat too much fish either, but he was very like a meat guy, like and now I feel really bad, and he's a very successful man, so maybe he knew it, he was up to something. So that's why, like, yeah, with all the health stuff, you got to be careful, with all the trends, and that's why, like, I like to try things on myself before sharing, because with even science, I think science is overrated, and it's always changing. It's something that is always we'll learn more. Like you see, like in Turkey, they discovered Göbekli Tepe, and it changes. And I think it goes even before that, like human history. So yeah, science is like, I mean, it's good to have a scientific approach, but all the studies and to go, oh, we did a group with that, and he lowers your risk of that percent. Like, yeah, but I don't care. Like, what's gonna happen to me? That's what I care. So yeah, it will give you a direction. When they say, oh, people who are going to 4 to 7 times to sauna, they have 58% less risk of strokes. Yeah, it gives you the idea that it's maybe probably a good direction to take, but then you got to try. I mean, well, you'll never know about the stroke thing. It's like you'll never get. I mean, it'll be very costly to get that answer, but you'll see if you feel better or not. So now, like, what I'm doing is, like, I'm on my keto, and sometimes I go on certain days I go carnivore, but more and more there's this one guy, Peterson, I forgot his name. Like, he had, like, really bad conditions. I used to like him. He was like an interesting intellectual, but then with the whole give them hell, like, I lost me there, like, with the whole the country, we don't have to say, like, it's better not to say the name. I mean, it's not even a country for me, but it's yeah, with that he lost me. But he has a condition, and he only eats meat, salt, and water, and he cured himself, like, from that, and his daughter too, and he says as soon as he comes back, he eats something else, he flares back, like, he eats back. So it's very interesting, like, very, very interesting. So it's something to think about. So maybe we don't need vegetables, it's not, maybe it's still, for me, it's very hard to believe it. I have to try it, and even if I try and it works, I mean, then it's it's hard to be sure that you won't be missing some major minerals or something, like, in the long run. That's the same with the keto. Like, I thought I will have problems with the ketogenic diet, but for now, it's like, because people that are on they're hardcore keto guys, they always recommend, like, to once in a while have a cheat meal with some carbs, because otherwise you get articulation problems. But maybe I'm eating, because I do eat some carbs. Like, I'm on keto, but sometimes, the other day I had a watermelon. Like, I just try not to go too far. I avoid bananas, grapes, apples, things with a lot of sugar, mangoes. But berries I love, but here in Paraguay, it's if you find, it's super expensive. It's like three times the meat price. Like, it's crazy, and then it's really bad. I mean, it's not very good, and then it's expensive. But in Colombia, it's the heaven of berries. They have those blueberries that are, like, big. They're almost like grapes, and they have that aftertaste of mint. It's one of the best things I ever eaten in my life. And in Colombia also, they have that. There's a company that does coconut-based yogurt. So sometimes I do a meal like that. I get all the berries, like all the berries I can find, and that yogurt, and it's just like I mean, it will be good anywhere, but just in Colombia, it's just they have good. I think Colombia is a special place because also the people, they're so beautiful. Like, from the male perspective, like women, they're like, oh my God, I say it's the Champions League of women. It's like the beauty. It's so each time I go there, it's always a surprise. And but then you get used to. Sometimes I'll be at the gym and they're like 4 girls working out and they're like models, like. But then since I've been there for a while, like, so I don't even just like, it doesn't even. Yeah, it becomes normal. Like it becomes something normal. But so in Colombia, yeah, there's something about the genetics and the nature being maybe more, develop itself at its best. It could be, and so the fruits are, the berries are incredible there. So yes, those are raw, no animal products, frugivore, keto, and the carnivore. So those are the 5 diets. 4.5 because I haven't tried fully the carnivore one. That you could include in your fasting journey. Now I'm doing the 18-6 OMAD. I'm fasting. I'm skipping the OMAD 2 days a week, and the rest of the time I eat keto. And it's working. I mean, I'm comparing myself to myself. It's just I feel like a machine now. Like it's like I don't get tired and I have fun. I mean, there are other factors also. Like I'm in a very cool place. I mean, Latin America, it's really good. Have access to a lot of things I wouldn't have access to in other places, and also the weather and people, and it's like, like when you live in Switzerland, it's like there's so many rules, and the culture is always like you have to be so careful to not make mistakes, and that's pressure. Then I mean, it's people are punctual. There's no many mistakes, so everything works better. But the price is that you're always stressful. Like you're stressed out. Like when I used to work in Switzerland, like I verify everything I do 3 times. Because it's your reputation. I mean, even now, like I like things to be. If I'm going to release something, if I'm gonna, like with the book and stuff, like. I wrote the book, I read it I don't know how many times, and then I hired the line editor. She did the job, then I read it again after her, and now I did the formatting, and I'm gonna read it again. And also I have my friend Sardar in Turkey. He's also pretty good in English, and then he's gonna read it, and so I mean, it's good to do things right, but it creates when socially you live like that, it's like it's little. You're always on eggshells, and for what, it's like I don't know. So all those things are factors, but I think the fasting and the keto diet was a really winning combo for me, and it just goes. And like I work 7 days a week, but since I'm not eating on Saturdays and on Wednesdays, especially the one on Saturday, makes it that I break my fast on Sunday, and on Monday it's just the time that I recoup from the fast. So I even though I worked on Sunday and on Saturday, I feel refreshed, So I'm really excited about that. It's like having the best of the 2 worlds, and then go to the sauna every day, go to the gym every day, and it works. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Again, I went on tangents. Like I'll have to make. I think it's my personality. I think. I mean, in the past I had a a girlfriend that was telling me, "Hey, but you don't finish your sentences," and I couldn't I couldn't understand. And watching the video, I understand better, you know. Like sometimes I say, "Oh yeah, there's a chapter in my book about," "Oh yeah, my book," and the editor did this, like, and then what about the chapter? You know, it's like, yeah. So, but little by little, I mean, it's all it's practice. The thing that I'm really psyched about is that I was kind of sad to lose my English, you know. And it's like I speak 4 languages, but you know, when you don't use it, you lose it. So I was a bit sad about that, and now it's like this gives me the opportunity to keep it alive, and maybe in the future, as I'm going to do the different versions of the book, maybe I'll do depending on the like time-wise and energy, and also the desire to make it. Maybe I'll do it in I'll do the same channel in Turkish and in French and in Spanish. Yeah, that can go. That's also my book. Like now I'm reading the Spanish version, and I'm learning so much. Like I'm learning so much about my mistakes. I mean, some words I thought they were spelled because I mostly learned orally. So I was like, I thought they were spelled in a certain way, and no, it's and oftentimes it's the words that exist in English or French, but it's just that you don't write it like that. It's like in French, cheese is fromage, but in Italian it's formaggio. But as a French person can think, oh, it must be formaggio, but no, it's formaggio. There's no R. So it's very. So you got to be careful with languages, and also the meaning. For example, the word eventually. They have the same word in French, but the meaning is totally different. Like it's very. So you got to be careful. But that was a great experience. Like I learned a lot about the mistakes I was making, new words, and also it's going to help me since I'm always talking about fasting, and so that's my book. So I'm going to have the vocabulary and the expressions to when I'm communicating in Spanish. So I have a new arsenal of words and how to say things, and also there was a. Yeah, like the lady, she used the word for Chile. I don't remember, but it's not Chile, you know, and starts with a G. I think it comes from Spanish, Spaniard Spanish. And then I was like, it was kind of. I almost wanted to change it, you know, because I lived so long in Mexico. I was like, maybe if I don't use the word Chile, they don't let me in next time. You know, at the airport, they're like, no, you cannot get into the country. So yeah, so that's the adventure, and yeah, those diets, I mean, they can inspire you, and also I think they all, you know, if you're hesitant to start fasting, doing those diets is a form of fasting. Yeah, I can say that with confidence. You know, if you eat raw, it's a fast of fasting. It's a way of fasting. If you do the no animal product, it will be a type of fasting. Frugivore, keto, yeah. So it could be a stepping stone. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video, inshallah.